I'll be honest with you. When I started my private practice, I did not think about business models at all. I found an office, I paneled with insurance, and I just started building a caseload. But what I realize now is that I had adopted a business model. I just didn't know it. Hi, I'm Kristen, and I help trauma therapists become confident business owners so they can avoid burnout and expand their practices. Today, I want to talk about something most of us never even considered when we were starting out, and that is building a business model. Because if you're feeling stuck in your practice right now, this might be why. So let me tell you what happened to me. When I started out, paneling with insurance companies made complete sense. They handled the marketing. They brought me clients. I was a new therapist who needed experience and a full caseload, and it was genuinely useful. But here's what I didn't fully understand then. In doing so, I had adopted their business model, which meant I also adopted their terms, their timelines, and most importantly, the insurance company's own business priorities. Here's where it got frustrating, though. I spent years accumulating trauma trainings and certifications. Most years, I honestly didn't even check whether I met my CE requirements because I probably had at least 2 to 3 times more than I needed. And I was also paying for high-quality consultation monthly. My qualifications, skills, and experience had expanded significantly, but my pay rates with the insurance companies, they stayed exactly the same. That has never made sense to me because I have never worked in an industry where experience and training wasn't compensated. And it's not the same for insurance reimbursements across all areas of healthcare. There is not one standard reimbursement rate for doctors. Can you imagine a cardiologist with 20 years experience being reimbursed at the same rate as a new resident? So at some point, what happens is most trauma therapists who are highly skilled in a specific area realize this disparity, that the person who got licensed yesterday is receiving the same reimbursement rate as you are, even though you have years of specialized training. This is one of the main flaws with the insurance model when it comes to therapists. Certifications and trainings are completely ignored. So the only way to make more money is to see more clients. Because I was working with clients who had experienced complex forms of trauma, particularly in childhood, my original schedule, based on the insurance business model, which was high volume, was leading to burnout. I needed to find a way to reduce the number of hours I was working and make more money to honor my experience and education. And then life happened. I hit up against some personal challenges that required me to take some more time off for self-care. And that was when I realized that I'd been operating inside a business model that I didn't build and I couldn't control and wasn't flexible. That realization was a really big shift for me. But before we go further, let's just talk about what I mean by a business model, because I think sometimes that can sound a little corporate-y in a way that feels disconnected from the work that we do. Simply put, your business model is how your practice generates revenue, who you serve, what type of services you offer, how you deliver those services, what you charge for them. It's basically the structure of your business. Most of us in private practice have never explicitly designed a business model. We got licensed, we found a way to get clients in the door, and we kept going. For a lot of us, that meant paneling with insurance companies. So the insurance model became our model by default, not by design. Now, when I start talking about insurance companies and reimbursement rates, most trauma therapists think I'm advocating for therapists to go off insurance panels. But I really would love for you to look at this from a different perspective or angle. The question really isn't insurance or no insurance. The question is, are you operating within a business model that you designed intentionally? One that has flexibility built in so that when the landscape shifts, whether that's a personal shift like what I had, or the insurance company changes their business model, you have some agency over what happens next. Because here's what we don't know: how AI will impact our industry. But what I do know is that insurance companies are running a business and they will make decisions based on what serves their business goals, regardless of the impact on you or me. If your practice is built entirely on their model, then when they change, your business is forced to adapt, whether you choose it or not. You have no input, you have no leverage, and you have no choice. I want to be clear. I'm not telling you to go off all insurance panels. That decision depends on your caseload, your financial situation, your client population, and about a dozen of other factors that are specific to you. Some therapists build genuinely sustainable practices that include insurance. Others go fully private pay. Many find something in between by expanding their offerings. What I am saying is that you need to be the one making that decision based on a model you've actually thought through, not one that you inherited by default and never examined. Ask yourself this. If your top 2 insurance companies lowered their reimbursement rates tomorrow, what would happen to your practice? If the honest answer is, I don't know, or I'd be in serious trouble, that's really important information. That's a reason to start thinking about what your business model actually is. So what happened when I focused on my business model? Here's what that actually looked like. And I want to be clear, this took time. I realized one way of diversifying my practice was to provide consultation to other therapists. So I became an MDRA-approved consultant, and I started offering individual and group consultation. I started to really think about my professional development and what I wanted to contribute to the field, and that led me to co-teaching a 10-month webinar with a colleague. I looked at the insurance companies I was paneled with, and I decided to go off one insurance panel. And I didn't pick the lowest paying one. I picked the one that was causing me the most stress. I realized hourly therapy wasn't allowing me to utilize EMDR in ways that really helped my clients make progress, so I decided to build an intensives business. Eventually, I went off my last insurance panel and became fully private pay. And now my business is a combination of individual therapy, intensive therapy, individual and group consultation, and providing consultation to trauma therapists on business. Here's the most important thing. It took time. I realized my business model wasn't working for me in 2020. It's now 2026. The decisions to leave the insurance panels I did slowly, intentionally, and with plenty of notice to my clients. Offering intensives was an entirely new business adventure, as was developing the Transform Your Trauma Therapy Practice program. I had already known a lot about business, but I learned so much more over these past 6 years. But to expand my offerings like that, I had to invest time in understanding my business, in developing my business model, and doing a deeper dive into what I wanted to offer and who I wanted to offer that to. So here's what I would love for you to take from today's video. You deserve to have agency over your business model. A sustainable practice model does not have to be complicated, but sometimes it takes time. It starts with a few honest questions. Who do you want to serve? What do you want to offer people? How do you want to deliver those services? And more importantly, what are you passionate about? What do you need to earn to do this work without burning out? And what needs to change in your business? Those questions are the beginning of a business model. They're also the beginning of having real agency over your practice, which is something most of us were never taught to claim. So here's what I would love for you to try. Take 5 minutes this week and write down your answers to those questions that I just asked. Don't overthink it. Just get your initial thoughts on paper. And if you're realizing your current model isn't sustainable, just notice that. It's just good information, and it offers you something to build upon. This is exactly the work we do inside Transform Your Trauma Therapy Practice. I offer the cohort multiple times a year, so you can join the waitlist by clicking the link below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.